episode of the Wine and Chisme podcast. I am coming to you from my bedroom, and I'll explain why in just a moment. I am with my girl Erika because it's a year-end review. Erika, how you doing?
Hola, hola. I'm getting over a little cold. I feel like everyone is kind of getting sick at the end of the year. I don't know what's going on. It's either the flu or the cold.
Yeah. Well, the reason I hope you feel better. I'm glad you're still able to do this. But the reason I am coming to you from my bedroom is because, well, I told you I am starting to train to walk a half marathon, never done a half marathon. I think the longest I've done is like 8 or 9 miles before. However, and this is not from training from the half marathon, it is from stepping in a gopher hole yesterday when me and my husband took the dogs to the park,
No.
and we were also playing catch and everything, and we hadn't even started. We just were getting to the spot that we wanted to be in, and I stepped into a gopher hole. So I took the dogs for a walk. I was like, you know what, my knee's kind of bothering me, I'm just going to take it easy today. And I still did. I think we did like a mile and a half. Um and I did my upper body workout, and then I sat down and my knee was starting to bother me. I took a shower and everything because, wash day, and trimmed
Hmm.
myself because, girl, these ends were looking sad and everything. So I had to do something. And my knee just really started hurting. I sat down and I was like, what the heck? And then I got back up and I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm coming from the room because I have my leg up with ice. You could actually see it.
Oh
If you're
man.
if you're watching us on YouTube, you can see it. But I'll be taking it on and off. Actually, it's probably time to take it off for a little bit. Then I'll be putting it back on and off throughout because, you know. But 2025, we're done. How it how? How, Erica?
It's been a year. It has
It's
it's
been
been a
the
year.
long. Okay, normally you're like, how'd this fly by? And part of me feels like that, but with everything that's gone on this whole like year, it also feels like it's been the longest year ever.
It's been the longest, fastest year, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
No, totally, totally. Before we get into it, what you are you drinking anything today, Erica? What you drinking?
Well, I have orange juice. And then in my mind, I've added some Prosecco to the orange juice.
So if you get loopy, it's because your mind's playing tricks on you.
And in my mind, there's some Prosecco in here.
Okay, well, I did not open a bottle. What I did, and mine's out of a cup because it's hot, is I'm having some vin chaud. Vin chaud is like the French version of mulled wine,
Mm.
and Antonio makes it. My husband makes it for the
Ooh, I love
holidays.
mulled wine.
And so here's the difference between vin chaud and what would be considered traditional mulled wine. Vin chaud is not as sweet. Um, so it still has, so this is something you don't want to use like your best bottle of wine on, right? Like literally we went and got the Franzia wine because you're putting so many other flavors in it. You're
Hmm.
cooking it, so you don't want like a really high end wine. Vin Chaud is more, has a little bit more citrus, a little bit more spices. So like it's star anise, there's lemon, lime, orange juice, um some cognac.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's all of these. I can't say all of the things because Antonio apparently has a secret to it, but it's so, and cinnamon, but it's so like during the holidays, during those cold months and everything. So, and I have it in my Mrs. Always Right mug.
So hear me
Yeah,
out for
his hat,
2026.
huh?
I said, hear me out for 2026.
Okay.
We need a video episode, a YouTube episode with Antonio doing the what? How do you pronounce it again?
The Vin Show.
Yes.
Okay, well, I did post it on social.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I didn't
Okay.
post the ingredients, but I did post about Vin Show, about and him making it on social.
Okay.
So it's on YouTube and it's on Instagram, and I think I even posted it on YouTube Shorts. So check it out.
Oh,
Check it out.
okay.
Watch it.
When did you post this?
Last week, I think.
Oh, I've been kind of
It was
taking a
right,
little
maybe,
bit of a social break
yeah, it
these
was right
past two
before
weeks.
Christmas, I think. So yeah, because he made it right before Christmas. So, and I apologize if I sound different. It's just I don't have the mic as close to me. Do I sound weird, Erica?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, that's all that
It sounds
matters.
a little low, but that might be on my end.
Well, it's probably because I'm not as close to the mic as well, unless I wanted to like bring it right here.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Because
I guess I can
I kept
hold
on
it.
reaching like this to do the volume, and I'm like, what?
No, it's me. Okay.
What's going on?
I'll just hold it. I won't be as animated, I guess. So here we are, end of 2025 or beginning of 2026, whenever you're listening. We're doing this on like literally the 29th. The 30th is when this is getting released because I didn't want to put something out on New Year's Eve.
Mm,
So we're just like me and you were talking about it and we're like, when
right.
should we put it out? And here it is. So
Well,
where should we eat? I don't, it's there's so much. Well, I guess we'll kind of do just like the entertainment type of roundup,
sure.
and then we'll end with the like podcast roundup. How about that?
Yep.
So, salud.
Salute.
Oh, I can still see the steam coming off this. So, normally when I'm recording and my husband is home, he will come into the room. This time it is me in the room and he's out in the living room with the dogs. So, all right, well, let's go. Let's get started. I mean, we could where do you even want to start, Erica? I have a couple of things like okay, Erica, I mean, we could start at the beginning. Obviously, we know and the reason it feels so long is we know the Cheeto in charge
Mm-hmm.
came in back in as president in January 20th. Uh and he's fucked up a lot of our lives.
Yep.
He has
Yep.
really just been, he's gonna leave an orange stain on this country. That is for
He
sure. In
sure
regards to
is.
all these things.
He
Um,
sure is. I feel like everyone, well, not everyone, but the majority of people have like personally felt in like some way the effects of this administration. It hasn't even been a full year.
no, I mean, you come in and came in hot with bringing Elon Musk in and Doge and all of the things that he cut and instantly like I don't want to spend too much time on it because I'm
Yeah.
just going to get really mad and upset. And, you know, um, I really want to talk about a lot of the other things. I want to focus more on entertainment in the podcast, but it's hard because he has affected so many things that has creeped into all of our lives, right?
Yes.
Whether it is like I've said before, I am second gen. I was born and raised in San Diego County, and I know, and me and you have both talked about being light skinned Latinas, but
Mm-hmm.
also my tattoos are both like the tattoos that I have are in Spanish. And if you don't think that that doesn't come into my mind anytime I leave my house, that or anytime I see a cop or anytime I like just not knowing, I also work my part-time job, I work for a nonprofit and we work at schools and seeing how it's impacted the students, the
Mm-hmm.
teachers, like all of the things. It's creeped into everywhere. It's like a virus, right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
it
And
it's just
it, it's definitely affected like some like volunteer work that I do during the year with like various organizations and just kind of people having to kind of reorganize things and be very mindful of how some nonprofits are like represented, right? And then I have friends that that work full time in the nonprofit space and have had to kind of reorganize and reword mission statements and stuff like that. Then I have friends that work like in the education field, and all this Department of Education nonsense affects their job. So
Yeah.
it's whatever. It's interesting to see where how we'll start
Yeah.
2026 on that front.
Oh, God. Just moving my leg hurts.
That's
No, I
not a
mean,
good indication of how to start 2026.
right. Well, you know what? Even like a couple months in November, I had my friend Londra on, who is the CEO of the San Diego Hunger Coalition. And we talk about how what's happening has affected hunger not only in San Diego County, but across the country. And she was talking, and I didn't even know this. And I think this was really eye opening is that the USDA, it is actually their job to keep track of food insecurity numbers, and they've
Mm-hmm.
stopped. They're no longer keeping track.
Oh,
So now
wow.
we're not knowing how many people food insecurity is impacting. It's up to these organizations themselves to try and figure out what that is. So, um, but going to like a better note, into February, we had the Super Bowl. Kendrick Lamar was
Right.
the halftime performer. And girl, talk about like when you're talking about feuds in music and everything. Now, obviously, one of the biggest feuds ever is Biggie and Tupac. And that
Right.
kind of feeds,
The alleged feud.
yeah, the alleged feud, but that kind of goes into what we're going to talk about later, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had this feud between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. And you know what? Since then, yeah, I don't think Drake, I don't know. Can Drake ever come back from that? Because you had
I
an entire stadium, right? An entire stadium. Now, I've worked for the Super Bowl host committee before. So let me kind of just share if you don't already know. Yes, you do have normal sports fans, but most of the fans that are there are like corporations have purchased the tickets. They're giving them
Mhm.
out to people they work with and like whatever, right? Those are, you have people who can really like, these tickets are not cheap. They're
Right.
very, very, very expensive. So think of who can like, be able to purchase those very, very expensive tickets. And you have an entire stadium as Kendrick Lamar. First of all, he said he wasn't going to do that one, um calling Drake a pedo, right? They said
Uh-huh.
remove it, but he did it anyways. And then you have an entire stadium that's not necessarily his his classic demographic,
Right.
screaming A minor. Do you think Drake will ever be able to? I mean, I really
I
haven't heard from him
Let me tell
much.
you, sometimes I forget about Drake.
Oh yeah.
Certainly this year, I'm just like, I had forgotten about him until you mentioned him right now. Let me put it that way.
I mean, I love it.
I
And
was
I
like,
love,
oh yeah, that happened.
you know what?
Sorry, not
I
sorry,
yeah, I
Drake.
forget. No, but and then I love like Kendrick then came out with another release, and it's such a tribute to LA, and it's
Hmm.
such a tribute to the different cultures that you find in LA. He brings a lot of Latino influence, a lot of Black influence. Like it's just so, mwah, it's such an amazing album. Um, so that's always really interesting. I'm going to be really interested to see like, do we hear from, because he sued Universal. Drake actually sued Universal Music, saying
Hmm.
that they were promoting Kendrick and they weren't promoting him, and
Right.
he, like, that's gone. He lost that. Like they threw the they threw it out because it had no merit. And it was just that Kendrick came out with better music, and it Kendrick came out with better music, and the music had to be, happened to be like a total diss track to you.
Yep. I mean, Again, sorry, not sorry.
I mean, yeah, that's really what it is. Sorry, not sorry. What are you gonna do in the meantime, right? Like, um, so what else? Like, sorry if you hear things. I'm trying to pull up my notes here. What's the next thing that comes to mind for you in regards to things that have happened?
Well, something that just happened like a week and a half ago. I was gonna like post stuff about it on my social, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna save it for our Chisme episode.
Oh, can't wait.
And it is that whole crazy interview with Prince Royce and Romeo Santos
Oh,
on the New
yes.
York Times podcast.
So if
Um,
you don't know, right, go ahead and explain what happened because girl, I was shaking my head.
yes. So, amongst other points in the interview, the one key little snippet that was talked about that has people up in arms is basically the question was asked about how they felt about ICE and what was going on, especially in regards to their community and their fan base. And the answers were very disappointing. Um, Prince Royce started off his answer saying that it was complicated when there is nothing complicated about what is going on. And then one thing that has like really stuck with me that makes me so angry um, was that Romeo Santos said that like musicians should stick to music, right?
Music is
Which
political, bitches.
it's well, that's the thing. If you consider yourself an artist, which he does, the art is political. It's been that way since the dawn of time, since the whole concept of art came about. It has always been political. Specifically, their genre of music, bachata, is
Yes.
political. Like it's literally where do you think what do you think it comes from the oppressed, from the poor? Like this is a genre of music that evolved from literally that the oppressed poor sectors in Dominican Republic. Like it has so much like like political and like societal background to it that it was so crazy. And
Yeah.
then the interesting enough, it was I
They're
forgot
going out
exactly
on
what
tour
year.
together right now too. They're they're
Well, yeah,
they're
they're
there
on
because they're
tour together
promoting
now.
their tour.
They're promoting this their collaboration album, and all of the comments are like, well, they just saved me money. They just saved me a few $100s. People are
That
just
and here's the
really
thing, like
upset.
one of the other things when Romeo was talking about he's like, I said fuck ICE and I'm not going back on that. But
Mm-hmm.
no, there's no but. Like, I don't understand where this came from. Like you said,
Mm-hmm.
Prince Royce, he was a little bit yes, he started with it's complicated, and then he said,
Right.
like, this is affected. He had his answer was a little bit better, but it wasn't
It was a
super
little bit better,
solid. It was a little bit
but
better. He was like, this is affecting, as a Dominican, this is affecting my family, this is affecting my I don't agree with it. Like, so he did give, but he shouldn't have like I think what negated everything that he said was that he said it's complicated. And
mm-hmm.
I think had he not said that, then
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people would have really honed in on what he said because I think
Yeah,
after what he said was
right.
legit, right? Like he didn't say anything, I don't think controversial after that too much.
What
And
here's the thing too. Like I feel like Prince Royce was trying to give a very public relations answer.
mhm.
And he may have gotten a little tripped up on it. I feel like he might have been nervous. about giving the wrong answer, which unfortunately it ended up being kind of a wrong answer anyway.
Yeah.
But it's if I have a friend in the PR world too, that her and I were talking about it, and she was like, "That is the most Chat GPT talking points that I've heard in my life."
Yeah, you know what? When I was listening to it, I was thinking, like, who, first of all, I'm thinking, who are their publicists? Are there, like, I was
They
thinking,
should know
who are
better.
their,
They should know
but
better.
no, well, okay, well, here's the thing.
And they weren't. I feel like they
What,
weren't prepared,
who are their
and they should have been.
publicists? Are they other people of color? Are they white? Because if they, like, what are their,
Okay. Yes.
because that, like, that's who, what I thought of, like, who are your publicists? Because if you have a publicist that isn't affected by this, then they're gonna be like, no, stay away from it, da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was somebody like me or you, and you're like, look, who is your audience? Your
Mm-hmm.
audience, if you're going to go out there, you need to go out there fully. You need to go out with your chest fully embracing, like, this is what I
Mm-hmm.
think. This is why I think it's wrong. Because if you don't, your audience will turn on you, especially right now. So I don't know who their publicists are, but that's what made me think, or unless their publicists are so, if they do have Latino or Black publicists, then they need to fire them. I mean, either way, they need to fire. You need to fire a publicist because that was
I
trash.
I would have to double check. I have to double check, but I think that they both do have Latino
You
publicists.
need to
I
fire
have to
them.
double check it, but I think they do.
If they do, then you need to fire. Like, you, I would. You know what? That's who I want to talk to. Let's get them on here when I'm talking to me and you, and
Yeah.
saying,
And
why did you allow that? Because we
well, I
know,
think,
like, go ahead.
oh,
Sorry.
what were you saying? I'm sorry. I feel like you
I was
got,
gonna say no. I mean, be like, why? Like, when they talk, every interview they're gonna ask that. You know it already.
you know it.
You
You know
know
it.
every interview that they're gonna talk about what is happening in this country right now. What are your
Mm-hmm.
feelings? Are you feeling like, what do you say? But you also know who your audience is. So why are you trying to be so, you know, politically correct? Because right
Mm-hmm.
now there's no such thing as politically correct. There isn't.
No.
Because we just have this huge chasm of beliefs right now, that it's either, do you believe this or do you not? And
Right.
you can't, you're not, like, for Romeo to say, oh, I believe in it, but I'm not going to speak on it anymore because I just think I should just stick to music.
Right.
Okay, like, if I was that interviewer, I would follow up saying, well, why do you feel like you need to just stick to music? This is, like, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
see, all I've seen is the clip. So I don't
Right.
know if but as an interviewer, as somebody who does engage in conversation all the time, I
Mm-hmm.
like, my follow-up question would have been, well, why do you feel like you should only stick to music? The type of music that you're performing is political from the creation of it. Your existence and the existence of your community right now is political. So why do
Mm-hmm.
you think that you shouldn't be political in everything that you encompass? Your music, your name, your fans, your existence is political. So why do you think you need to not be political?
Right. Another thing too that bothered me about um, Romeo's answer was that he was talking about like the way he said "fuck Trump," right? That he was like, "Oh, now I have 5 kids. I'm a father, and I have to set an example. I don't want them to think it's okay to go saying f this and f that to everyone in whatever." But I thought that that was like such a cop out because yes, obviously you don't want your kids to go around saying fuck this and fuck that and be like rude and crazy. But you do want your kids to stand for beliefs, to stand for something. So that answer was just like, well, like the kids say, what is it? Oh, he thought he ate. with that answer, and like,
He
no, he
doesn't
did
know
not.
ball. That's what it is now. He doesn't know ball. And on top of that, like remember, and it's something that continually comes up. If you don't stand for something, you stand for nothing.
Right.
So I'm
And
very curious to see how this is going to truly impact
yeah,
the attendance
I'm
of
curious to
their
see that
concert.
too. I'm curious to see that too. And then like another thing is like, and I feel like this might be like the last just point. Um, I don't think like as an artist, I understand like you if you're not like that much of an activist, right? Like I'm not saying you have to be out there 110, but as an artist, it has to matter.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the most vocal about it, but you cannot be silent.
No, absolutely. Girl, I keep changing my position and everything because it's hard to just be all twisted and turned. So, oh,
Oh
I
no.
feel sorry for anybody who's watching this on YouTube right now. This is
We're
just
such a
real life.
mess today.
Oh my gosh, such a mess. I mean, look, literal mess behind me. This is why I was like, oh, should I put on the filter? And you're like, no, I like it. This is like, let me just tell you, I love my husband so much, but it's so hard to be so neat and tidy. Two people in this spot, right? We're in a Our apartment is less than 600 square feet. And it went from one person and one dog to two people and two dogs. Like, so yeah, that'll be interesting to see like how that's all going to
Hmm.
come up and
Yeah.
how that's going to happen. Speaking of all of that, we there was a couple of instances this year in regards to late night shows talking about entertainers and talking about whatever. First, the whole thing with Jimmy Kimmel. And the crazy thing is, and we talked about it when it happened, of
Hmm.
Jimmy Kimmel getting quote unquote canceled, right? The crazy thing is that the FCC chairman was like out there on podcasts saying like basically let we can do this, telling Disney, the owner of ABC, we can do this
Hmm.
the hard way, like threatening them if they don't pull Kimmel off the air. They did it for a couple of days and then he came back. But the whole reason that happened was because he talked about the shooting of Charlie Kirk. Now, if you actually go back and listen to it, he did not say anything horrible about Charlie Kirk. He just said, but he did say something that Charlie Kirk believed.
Right.
And that caused outrage. It's always, oh, you can, but you can't, but I
Right. Right.
can type of thing. Do as I say, not as I do. Uh,
Hmm.
and so that came back. Then everything happened with Colbert, and Stephen Colbert to this day remains canceled. This is his last season. People are definitely up in arms about this because this administration, again, I hate fucking going back to things, but so many things
Everything is
literally is,
political.
yeah. So many of these things go back. It's a direct correlation to this fucking orange Oompa Loompa Cheeto dusted man. Like, and you know what? It becomes so fucking frustrating because he has literally gotten his weasel tiny hands into everything. So that is something that is happening. And even now, right? He's trying to
Hmm.
with the whole merger, right? Of Warner Brothers, Discovery Warner Brothers, like
Yep. Yep. It's
being
exactly what I was going to
sold
bring up.
to Netflix versus Paramount. Now, if you don't know, and look, I know my audience is very smart. I know my audience is very smart. I know that they know what's going on. We just do recaps in case anybody's missed anything. But back a few months ago or earlier this year, Skydance, which is owned by the Ellisons, the owner of Oracle, big time Trump supporters purchased CBS, purchased Paramount. Paramount's the owner of CBS. Purchased
Right.
Paramount, then brought in this Barry Weiss. It's very hard for me to call her a journalist at this point, a
I
former journalist
mean,
turn
she's
opinion.
not.
Yeah, which is
She's
crazy
not.
because and she started this media company called the Free Press. But when you go to the Free Press, it's very biased. It's not the Free Press. It's just really, really biased. They made her, she had never worked in TV. She had never, like, she had only written for newspapers and magazines. She was never, but outside of the Free Press, she had never managed anybody. She had never done TV. And now, all of a sudden, now she is the head of news for CBS.
That's insane.
Girl, go ahead.
Have you watched the morning show? I don't know if I asked you
No,
this before,
I've never really watched it.
but it's maybe you can like do some binging in the next few weeks. It's just very interesting because you mentioned like head of news, and it's like it's literally like what is it? Life imitating art, imitating life kind of thing.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
yeah, like I don't want to get too much into it or like give too much away for you, but I think you should check it out.
All right, I'm gonna see. I'll go on
It's a pretty
YouTube and
good
look at
show.
some things. But the crazy thing is after that, we talked about it in our November Chisme. After that, then all of a sudden, all of these um black and brown and Asian reporters and producers and all of these, like all of a sudden there's not a place for them. They're reorganizing and they're going to, oh,
Mm-hmm.
but not for you. Um, and now Gail King is no longer, I think she's wrapping her time up. They had their CBS Evening News. There was two anchors and I forget their names. So please, I apologize because I don't watch CBS Evening News. And they signed off, and they were literally the last line. If you know who Edward R. Murrow is, he is really who brought this very gritty, like true journalism in
Mm-hmm.
the and everything like that. Good Night, Good Luck is a movie George Clooney directed, who plays Edward R. Murrow. Well, the last lines as they signed off were good night and good luck. Because
Oh,
they,
wow.
yeah, because they know that like true journalism has been a dying art. So when you find it, you got to
Yeah.
hold on to it, right? But obviously, with that is everything that happened at the Pentagon and all of these news outlets walking out, including right, including Fox News, including I don't know if OAN did, and like even now in the Pentagon, it's become like influencers as the quote unquote reporters. I'm sorry,
Right.
but if you it's very different. And I will even say this when it comes to somebody like call her daddy,
Right.
Alex Cooper.
Uh-huh.
Alex
Uh-huh.
Cooper isn't a journalist. She's an interviewer, right? But she doesn't press hard. And I for me, it depends on who it is, right? Like most
Right.
of the
Well,
people, but I've gone to journalism school. I can,
right.
like, if I were to sit down for a true interview with somebody and say, okay, there's questions that need to be asked and answered, right? Like I was
Right. Well,
talking
I think,
about the whole Prince Royce Romeo Santos thing.
right. I think uh, the difference between kind of like the influencer and like the content creators and on like journalism is the point of view, right? It's the point of view and it is the impartiality of it, right? Because if you, even like when blogs started coming about and everything, it was very personal. And it was like, this is my point of view and this is my take on the news, on events, on culture and it's very personal. But when you are a journalist and you're bringing information that is factual, that is researched, that is followed up on, it's a very different thing. Um,
Yeah.
and then, there are times when it crosses the line if you are a journalist who is also a influencer or has some kind of like alternative media platform, right? Like those things can cross over, but it's it's not the same. Like I don't necessarily want an influencer in the press office bringing me important news. Like
No, because you're right. It comes from a point of view and it doesn't come from a place of impartiality. I think people say, "Oh, we don't trust the news, we don't trust the media, we don't." I'm not understanding who they're trusting then, which I get to a certain extent, right?
right,
Because
right.
as we have, like, one of the biggest things that I have, one of the gripes I have, I guess, is the purchasing of news divisions by corporations, because that makes
Getting
it
very
harder and
dangerous.
harder. Yeah, it becomes very dangerous. They need to be independent so people can rely on what's happening, and oh, this is going on and this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to a point where they're not, where it's, owned by a corporation like NBC Universal, right? It's their, parent company, Universal of NBC, Disney and ABC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Skydance, Paramount, like these are owned by corporations, and we are seeing it way more and more of when it involves the quote unquote parent company, it's not news, it's either not mentioned or glazed over, like there's no deep diving.
Right.
Speaking of, NBC or CBS actually killed an entire story about CCOT and what was happening. And
Is
Barry
that
Weiss said, yes. So,
is that a
but
real story or because
it's
that's
a
another thing.
real
I can't
story.
tell
No,
what's real and what's false.
it is a real story
Okay.
that Barry Weiss cut, that it was sourced, it was
Right.
approved by legal, like they went through
For
so
60
much
minutes.
vetting for 60 minutes, and it was even approved by legal. Barry Weiss buried it, but they had already sent it to Canada for it to be broadcast on their Canadian station over there, and they
Mm-hmm.
aired it. So that's what's happening. That's the clips that you're seeing are from what aired in Canada. Apparently they're trying to, like, scrub it as much as possible, but you know
Right.
that once it's out there, it's out there.
Yep.
And you know what? I think, fuck you, Barry Weiss. You're a fucking, orange liquor. You're a lesbian who's sucking Donald Trump's dick. That's what I think of you.
I know. I was seeing that this morning and I couldn't tell if it was like I was like, is this real or is this fake or what is going on? Because that does not seem like it should be a real thing. Like I feel like people also need to pay attention. Like there's so many TV shows and movies about newsrooms and news organizations and like the business of it. And I mean, obviously it's exaggerated for entertainment, but I feel like people need to start paying attention to those like things so they can just kind of learn
Yeah.
about it and just keep in mind about the
No,
business of
absolutely.
news
Absolutely.
because it is
No.
getting very dangerous. We're going down a slippery slope. And I honestly, aren't monopolies illegal? Like, and then where's anything being
Okay, so there
enforced?
was
Like,
regulation, right? There was a lot of regulation over the Cheetos first term. They got rid of a lot of deregulation, right? But during George W. Bush's term, they were getting ready, or getting rid of regulations to deregulize a bunch of stuff.
mm-hmm,
Um, and then one of the biggest blows to everything that's going on was the Supreme Court decision to allow money to be used as free speech. That happened right around, I think, right before or like a year or two into Obama's presidency,
Mm-hmm.
where they made that decision. And that allowed for super PACs, that allowed for corporations to start donating unlimited amounts of money to allow somebody that they felt will be for their best interest. So
Mm-hmm.
this started this started back then. This started with the Supreme Court who
Mm-hmm.
who has continually allowed for these businesses, these maniacal, egotistical men to continue to gain more power and power, which is crazy to me because the Supreme Court continues to erode their own power in favor of one person, right?
Right.
So it's just really, really crazy um that this is happening because I think people think, oh, this is just no, this is something that has been chipped away. Republicans have been playing the long game,
Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's
right?
what I was gonna say. It's the long game. There, nothing happens
They have,
overnight.
yeah, they have been playing the long game. They have been doing this and doing this and doing this and doing this. And we think, oh, this happened. No, this didn't happen overnight. This has taken years
Oh,
and years
ma'am.
and years to happen. And we just, so many people just have not been paying attention. And
Yeah.
that's what happens when you say, well, I'm just going to stick to my music. I'm not going to get involved in politics.
Again, you don't have to be like the loudest. You don't have to be in there like head first, but you have to be about it. Like you cannot
Yeah.
be like, nope, it doesn't bother me. It's not about me. I just can't be bothered. No, yes, you can. Yes, you can be bothered. And do
So,
not be so selfish.
right. Well, speaking of, we were talking about CBS News and we were talking about Gail King is going to be leaving, but she did leave the atmosphere. Remember the whole all women
Oh
to
my
stay.
God. Please, I put that in
Does
the
that
back of my
seem like
head. I
that took
forgot.
place this
Another
year?
thing I forgot about.
Doesn't it? So it was Katy Perry, Gail King. It was also Lauren Sanchez.
Hmm.
Who else was it?
Was it like
I'm trying.
four or five?
There was two more. One was actually like legitimate scientists and everything. Well, anyways,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't truly go to space. They just, I believe, left the atmosphere. Like they didn't like fully go like to the International Space
Right.
Station or anything like that. But I
Which
remember,
that freaks me out. The thought of being in space
well, something happens. What are you gonna
gives
do,
me so
right?
much anxiety.
But they got so much flack because look at with everything that is happening, the wealth disparity, people are going, you know, can't pay for shit. And then you have women going up, and it was just really kind of weird. But the person who got the most flack for it for sure was Katy Perry.
Yeah.
Remember when she went? I mean, I don't know if this is true or not, but I was reading a bunch of stuff that said like after that, her and Orlando Bloom got in like big time arguments, and that was one of the things that led up to their breakup. I don't
Right.
know
Well,
if that's true or not.
they're getting a divorce or they got
Allegedly,
a divorce. What was it? I
they
don't
never
know.
got married. They were just engaged. But now she's with Justin Trudeau,
Oh. Oh, I
the
thought they
former
had
Prime
gotten
Minister of Canada.
married. I mean, side note, Orlando Bloom is looking very good these days.
I mean,
A little side note.
I always thought they were a weird couple. I don't know. I mean, not that I just always thought like it just seemed weird, but I was like, but it didn't affect me. So what the hell do I care?
And yeah, it always seemed like a little off.
Yeah, but I just was like, but I mean, I'm not somebody who's gonna deep dive in it or anything because I was just like, well. As long as they're happy, what does it
Yeah,
matter
I'm
to
like, what
me?
do I
Like
know?
yeah, it doesn't affect me in any way, shape, or form. So you had that. You had oh, the engagement heard round the world with Taylor Swift and Travis
How,
Kelce.
how did I put all of this like out of my mind? It's again, it's going back to the shortest, longest year. Like
Yes.
I felt like that happened so long ago, and it really didn't.
Okay, well now I'm gonna like pivot again, or not pivot, but within that. So I remember a lot of people were like, "Oh my gosh," and I was like, again, I'm oh, great. I hope they're happy. Like there was all these uh conspiracy theories that it's a PR relationship and this and
Hmm.
that, and I'm like, whatever. But recently, over the last couple months, since she dropped her album, The Life of a Showgirl.
Hmm.
Okay. So for those of you who don't know, because I'm sure most of my audience could give a crap about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, but for those of you who don't know, Travis Kelce, prior to dating Taylor Swift, had a history of dating black women, and his
Hmm.
last girlfriend was black. And um prior to dating Taylor Swift, and maybe like maybe for a year after, like all the kids would go in and say, I want the Travis Kelce, like they all wanted his hair and they all wanted this and like whatever. Look, as people who know about pop culture and sports, we understand that somebody like Taylor Swift is way more famous than Travis Kelce,
Right.
because not everybody knows or
Oh.
understands. Yeah, there's Daisy. Hi, Daisy. Knows Antonio's trying to get her out, but she just wants to bring her. I had to throw the toy to get Daisy out. um,
Today's special guest.
a very special guest, Daisy. So, but obviously Taylor Swift is an international pop star. Travis Kelce does not have that type of fame,
Right.
So I remember at the beginning there was all this conversation of, you know, he's way bigger than her. Yeah, physically he is, but that's about it. Like in the football world, and I'm saying
Right.
American football world, he is.
American football.
Yeah, exactly. He is, but that's about it. Anywhere else you go,
Hmm.
people are going to recognize her way more than him.
Right.
Well, this last album came out, and apparently, and I've only listened to what's come on the radio and not
Me too.
huh?
Me too.
Yeah. So I don't have any of her albums. I don't even think I have any of her songs downloaded. I have no idea. But people started going on a deep dive. This one hasn't been as celebrated as her previous albums, but also there was people saying that there was a lot of covert racism
Oh.
in it, or that, like, I guess she was trying to like that there was things that she was shading Travis Kelce's ex. Again, that's not like, there's some celebrity she's met I will absolutely get into. Like, give me some J-Lo relationship stuff and I will do a deep dive. I will go, you give me like, but like I'm not interested enough in Taylor Swift's relationships to do a deep dive on that, right?
Right.
But so there's just been this whole thing coming on, and with when when the White House used Sabrina Carpenter's song on something that they posted online,
Hmm.
Sabrina Carpenter went online and says,
Yes.
"Take this down. I do not support this, blah blah blah." But apparently they used a Taylor Swift song, and there has not, to this day, there has not been any sort of statement from her on that. But yet she had campaigned, or at least given her support, at least verbally, to Kamala. She,
Hmm.
in her Americana documentary, she was saying F the Cheeto, like people need to know. but also she's dating. I don't know what I like people can make their assumptions, but I don't really know what Travis Kelce's standpoint is. I do know that he is very close with his quarterback, who most likely is a supporter of the Cheeto in charge because his wife has been a vocal supporter of the Cheeto in charge.
Mm,
So that's kind of where people are coming from. Like, oh, she must be because of this.
right.
Again, I don't know. But that was the engagement heard round the world. And I guess we'll just continue to see. But I think it is very interesting. She's so protective of her music, and yet she
Mm-hmm.
hasn't said anything. And I think that's where people are coming from. Like, she's so protective of her music and how it gets used. Yet the White House uses it on, one of their disgusting social media posts, and there's no response.
Mm. Well, speaking of like keeping it in the music theme, some stuff that I had seen, I don't know if it was last week. No, yes, it was last week because so it was a post that Madonna put up, like just her family, her boo. Um, and so things have
I'm
been
gonna
coming
go
up
look at that
about.
because I saw parts of it and I was like, oh, I need to go look at it. But now you're okay. I'm gonna go look at it now.
I mean, she looks good. There was a while that she had like some kind of surgery and she was looking crazy, but she's looking good now. But there's been a lot of chatter in like the Twitter space, not the Twitter, the TikTok space about, these older women like Madonna, like Cher,
Hmm.
with these like young boyfriends, nice little boy toys, and the double standard, right? Because if it were these old men, which a lot of these old men have young wives, young girlfriends, but all of a sudden it's a problem when women do it.
She does look good here.
I mean, she looks good.
I mean, yeah, it
She
was
was looking
definitely
kind of
post
crazy
certain.
for a little
Yeah,
while,
yeah, she does look good here.
and she looks good in those pictures.
How
And
old
Cher,
is
like,
Madonna
don't
now?
even get me started on Cher. Like, that woman looks phenomenal.
Let's see, how old is Madonna now?
65, 63. No, no, I think she's older than 63.
67.
Yes.
She's only 2 years younger than my mom. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. You know what? Let her live.
That's what
Like,
I
what's
say.
the
Who cares?
problem? What's the problem? Again, does
Who
it affect your
cares?
life? Now, if it was different, if it was like a guy, here's the difference, I think, up to a certain point. And I honestly think this in a few other things as well, because look, I know when we were growing up, and I talked about this with Raven from our last episode
Mm-hmm.
of the things that we used to think when we were or the things that we were fed in the media, in music, in videos, and everything. And how it was like normalized for like a 16-year-old to be with like a 20 something year old. And now we're like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, how
Yeah.
could that be? That's so like that's terrible, that's grooming, that's this, that's that, it's SA. I also think, and I know some people are like, she's 21 and he's 30, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you, when I was 21, I dated a 29-year-old, and I promise you, I was the one who got him on track. Like, I was the one, he had a
Mm-hmm.
great job, but he was really bad with his money. And I was the one who, like, showed him what to do and how to do it and blah, 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 and whatever. The emotional maturity, I definitely had more emotional maturity than him.
Right.
Right. Now, I was 21. Was I young? Yes, but I knew what I was doing, right? He was still in his 20s. Now, if
Mm-hmm.
I was 18 or if I was under 21, then I think
Right.
that, when if it's like 25 and 20,
Well,
no,
I
that's,
think that's fine. I mean, it's 5 years. It's not,
but the
you're
way
kind of
that
in the
some,
same age bracket.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like we take it too far. Now, if
Mm-hmm.
it was dating somebody who was Well, how old is the guy that she's dating? I'm
I
guessing.
think he's in his 20s.
Look,
I think he's in his 20s. I think
I think
Cher's
he needs
guy
to
might be
be
like
over.
30.
I think that if they're over 21, then they can legally do all of the things. I would prefer that they could rent a car too. So technically, I
Right,
would prefer they're at
25 is
least
kind of where I draw
25,
the line.
right? I would prefer that. Um,
25. Like there's something if you can't rent a car, it's there's for a reason. It's for a reason.
yeah. So that's what I think. Because we see it with, Bill Belichick and his freaking 20 something girlfriend. We see it with so many. We see it with the press secretary and her husband.
Girl, I be
She's
forgetting that
28,
she's that
he's
age.
60.
She's 28, looking like freaking our age or near
Yes.
our age. Like,
Yes. Well, you saw that Vanity Fair photo shoot, right?
yeah,
I mean, I was like, oh Lordy, and now she's pregnant. And a lot of people are like, oh, this is her way of getting out. She's not going to come back as press secretary. She's probably going to go do whatever. Well, anyways, so yeah, I think it depends. It depends on all of that, but I say you need to at least be 25 if there's a significant age difference, because I want to know that whoever I'm with, that they should at least be able
to rent a car if
to
need
rent a
be.
car. Because what if something happens? I need you to pick me up. You got to
Yes,
rent a car and you can't rent a car.
that's crazy. It's like, oh my God, Jess, I'm so sorry, but I can't rent this car. I can't go get you.
Right? Okay, so moving on. Oh, did you see the new Superman movie?
No, I still
Oh,
haven't.
it was really good. I
The kids are
really enjoyed
harassing me
it.
to see it. I'm like, okay,
It
I'm
was
gonna get
really
to it.
good. And I liked how it wasn't an origin story, because I feel like we've had so many like origin stories,
Yeah.
but I really did I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't wait to see the Supergirl movie. Like that one is actually what
Oh,
I'm really
right.
interested in seeing. Then going on the whole nother superhero thing, I just saw for the first time the couple days ago K-pop Demon Hunters.
Oh my gosh. It's so good.
So good.
So good.
Antonio had
The
already
songs
seen
are
it.
so
So
catchy,
good.
so uplifting. Like,
Yes, so good. Antonio's like, you need to watch it because he had already seen it. He watched it
uh,
without me. And he's like, didn't we watch it? He's like, oh no, I think you were somewhere. And I was like, oh, that's fine. So I watched it with him because I was like, really? Is that what I want to see? But then I was like, oh no. Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. Um,
Here's one thing I want to get to. So the death of MTV, right?
yes. Did we
That's
talk about that?
happening. What?
I feel like I was just talking with somebody. Was it me and you that were talking?
No, I don't think
I
so.
was
Maybe?
literally just maybe it was Antonio. And he was like, do they even play music anymore?
No.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think it
The
was
end of an
Antonio.
era.
So they are taking it out of, so I think they're in the US, they're still gonna be in MTV, but again, they don't play music, but they are pulling out of Europe, Asia, Latin America, right? Like they're fully
Yeah.
pulling back from all of those things.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what they're doing here in the US, but I
I
mean,
don't
even those
understand.
like
Wait, here's the thing. I don't understand why they stopped. Like, and if you're doing that, obviously they had the Real World, Road Rules, Jersey Shore, Alabama Shore. Like, they had all of these things. I get it, I understand. However, musicians still make music videos.
I
And I
think it
get that you need to go on YouTube now, but couldn't I feel like that could have been a really great opportunity to collaborate with a YouTube or with somebody with them saying, "Hey, we're going to create a channel, YouTube, we're going to work with you. We're going to create a channel like a new version of TRL." I knew maybe, or maybe they make different versions for different genres of music. Different, like, I just feel like after TRL, they just gave up.
Well, it's also the way that we consume media,
Yeah.
right? So it's I don't think that model makes much sense anymore because before that you would run home to catch TRL like when videos were premiering, like it was a big to do,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
Now it's just like premiering on your phone or like you just go on YouTube and see it. And even
It's
like
just so anticlimactic now. I don't even remember the last time I actually watched a music video anymore because
no,
I know I could go on YouTube and search whatever, but
it's not the same.
no, it's not the
I
same.
used to love, was it Behind the Music?
VH1,
There's VH1.
pop-up video.
And I used to
Loved
love
pop-up video.
like what was it? Oh, what was the name of it? That it was like behind the scenes of making the video.
Oh yeah, yeah, making the videos. What was the
And you know,
what was
they
the name?
had the shows, like they had shows by genre
Unplugged?
too.
Unplugged.
The I am obsessed. Not even I was. I am obsessed with all of the unplugged sessions.
See, they could still do that. That's
I
the
can't think of an
thing.
unplugged that I just didn't care for.
Here's the thing. They could have still, maybe they didn't play videos all the time, but
Mm-hmm.
there's so many ways that people consume music that would still be worthwhile, like an unplugged,
Mm-hmm.
like a behind the music, like
Right.
those types of things that would um still garner, I think still garner attention,
Mm-hmm.
still garner views, like making the video, or you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
yes, people might consume media in a different way when it comes to music, but those are still things that you're not really getting anymore.
Well, see, now that you're talking about it, I feel like programming about music
Yes.
would be where they would go
Yes.
instead of just focusing on like
Programming
the
about
actual
music.
music or the actual music videos. So that, yes, that is where they should have gone.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I would still watch it. If those things came on, I would still watch it. And I
Absolutely.
know that like younger generation, right? Like my nephew, my nieces, like again, you can watch all these things online, but it's not the same as like sitting down and watching a program.
Do you
It's
watch?
it's different.
Okay. Okay, so I follow Torre on TikTok.
TikTok?
Love him, right? Uh Rolling Stone reporter. He has been in the middle. He tells these stories and you're like, "Oh, this man has been in the middle of so many
He's interviewed
amazing
everybody.
music moments." But you like you have somebody like that to talk, in talking about the new people and talking about, like, they would have been able to do so much had they pivoted to staying about music instead of turning into reality TV television.
Mm-hmm.
Because MTV, what does it even stand for anymore? It can't stand for music television because it has
Right.
nothing to do with music. So I think then that would still allow like the newer generation to,
Mm-hmm.
because every generation is inspired by the previous, right? That would still allow these newer generations of artists saying, yeah, I took my cue from here, or the first time I heard this, or, because you don't have those types of interviews, even on YouTube, even
Right.
on what, you don't have those very intimate interviews about music and the artists very much anymore.
No, not at all.
Whew, girl.
Not
All
at
right.
all. But yeah. Now talking about it, I'm just like, damn, what a missed opportunity.
I know. We should be the one running it.
Right? Like just thinking about it, like, yeah, like where is the like behind the music? That would have been so great to keep on going.
Yes. Well, okay, we're gonna
Unplugged, yeah.
exactly. Like I think that's where they should have gone. I know you have a couple things. I was just like going through what are, I know you have a couple things that you've written down that we talked about before that we're like, oh, we
Ah,
talked about this.
I think we kind of
Did we hit
went
it?
through everything.
Oh no,
No?
Diddy.
When I was thinking about him and I was like, you know what? I'm done with Diddy. Although 50 Cent, 50
We're
Cent
in the
said that
middle
he
of
was not
watching, yeah.
done.
We're in the middle of watching the documentary. My husband and I can only watch it one at a time because it's pretty intense.
Oh
So
my God, we watched it as a family. We watched it as a family. But I will say, but fuck Diddy. But and I'll say it with my whole chest. But I am loving this Danity Kane resurgence.
yes. Uh is it on Audra? What is her?
It is Andrea,
Andrea. She's
Dean
back.
Woods, and Aubrey.
Yeah, good. I love that one. All right.
I went down the Danity Kane rabbit hole the other day
Did you?
listening to the albums and I was like, "Oh, I hate you. I hate you so much, P. Diddy.
I
I hate
remember
you."
watching Making the Band and all that. And no, it's awesome. Okay. We know, fuck Diddy. We've been saying fuck a lot of people today.
We sure have. I don't want to drop so many F bombs, but
That's okay. It is what it is, right? Podcast wise, I pulled up some of the things that were highlights from the podcast that I wanted to share.
So I have two little notes because I knew we were going to talk about this,
Oh, really?
right? Just a quick notes, right? So one of my favorite episodes of the season was earlier in the year with conversation that you had with Honey German.
Oh, yeah.
That was one I loved. I love like when people I know get together and
Did you
talk.
ever talk to her after that?
I did. I did.
Oh, what did you tell her?
What did we talk about? Like, that was so long ago. But I had mentioned, I was like, oh my God, I didn't know that you were going to be on the show. And we were talking about, like, real quick about the interview. But I loved that episode. And
What was her
then,
response? Did she enjoy it?
yeah, she did. She did. And
Because I was like,
then,
because you can't just be like, we talked about it and then like leave me hanging.
oh, I know, I think I'm trying to get everything in because I know we're running like, we said we were going to keep it short and we've already like run over.
Yeah, we weren't blasted through time.
But one, I wanted to kind of make sure I got this in too, because I think that if there's an episode that the audience wants to go back to, that is something that I want to go back to as well as we start the year, is the one that you did back in May about estate planning. Just because
Yeah.
again, like the holidays, and you're just kind of thinking about like where you are, where your parents are, and then just kind of getting older and
Yeah.
uncomfortable conversations. But I think that's something to go back to and listen to.
No, absolutely.
In
Uh,
Q1, like that should be something that you go back and listen to right at the top of the year.
yeah. I I it's always so hard to pick out episodes because I enjoy talking to every person that I talk to. Like I always have such a great conversation with them and we always talk before and after so I get to, you know, get to know them a little bit more if I don't already. But I just, it's so hard. I absolutely just I love it. I love what I do and I'm so blessed to be able to get to do this and I'm really excited about what 2026 is going to bring because I think I've carried on. There's one thing that I've known for a long time and I think I've said it so many times is I am a relationship builder. I love talking to people. I love hearing people's stories. So I feel like I was born to do something like this, right? Whether it's a podcast or whether it was a regular talk show or anything like that. I feel like that's just something that's very innate in me. And I'm very blessed that I get to be able to do it. But there was always doubt creeping in. There was always doubt. Am I
Mm.
good enough? Like, why haven't more people discovered not just me, because obviously I am the podcast, but the stories. Um,
Right.
and this over the last few months, I feel like I've finally been stripping that away and just being like, you know what? One person hears it and it makes a difference in them. That's what's worth it. Like I know that I'm good at what I do. I know that I have very good, insightful, beautiful conversations with a lot of people. And I've interviewed journalists who say, yeah, girl, you're good. You're good at this. And I'm like, well, I know. Right.
That's tough.
So I am going into 2026 no longer doubting myself, because I think that's what's
Same.
holding me back. That I think that's what's been holding me back is that I'm constantly like, is this the right move? Is this? And now I'm like, you know what? I know I'm good enough. I know that I'm good at this. And I know that like the best is yet to come. I just need to let it and stop stopping myself.
Yes.
So
Same.
I want to share with you a couple of things. This 2025, we had a 77 or 770% increase in new audience.
Ooh la la.
Increase in followers by 6%. I'm looking at my whole little thing here. The episode, now this is not, yeah, actually the episode, that top episode for the year was our season 5 finale.
Yeah.
It played 160 times, 160% more than our average episodes.
Hmm.
Yeah. I was like, when I saw that, I was like, what? We've reached 11 countries this in 2025. Top countries. You want to hear what the top countries are?
Yes.
Number 6, Argentina.
Okay.
Or number 5. Number 5, Argentina. Number 4, Australia.
Okay.
Number 3, India.
Hmm.
I know. Number 2, Mexico. Hey. And number 1, the United States.
It's funny. I felt like we started off like on a wine journey and then we hit India and I was like,
Right?
well, this is not where I thought I was going, but okay.
I am a top 10 show. Wine and Chisme is a top 10 show for 47 people. And I'm a top 5 show for 30 of those people. And I'm the number 1 show for 12 of those people. That's crazy.
Nice.
10% binge 2 episodes in a day. 10% hit play within the first 24 hours. It says your top fans streamed 8.6 times more than everybody else. Fans listen to you for longer than 83% you for longer than 83% of other shows.
Okay.
You receive more comments than 78% of other shows.
That's good.
Yes. And I think that's it. So that's like the whole, like just full circle thing of the Wine and Cheese Smith podcast. We are taking a hiatus for January. We'll be coming back with more interviews, more wine things, and everything. I'm talking to some of the brands about things we're going to do for 2026. You know, we're always looking for stories. So if you know somebody you want to come on the podcast, I think I'm just doing a guesstimate, maybe 10 spots left
For the year?
for up through June. Because so we'll be
Okay.
out. So we have February, March, April, May, June, and then we'll be taking our summer break. So we take a hiatus in January,
Mm-hmm.
and then we start again in February. We'll be going from February to June, and then we'll be taking our summer vacation for July and August, and then be back in September. That's so crazy that I'm talking about September already.
Oh my gosh.
We're letting go of our fear, Erika. I think me and you are
We
very
are.
similar in the fact that we know what we want to do, but I think part of us are afraid to achieve it. So we
Yes.
stop ourselves, we doubt ourselves. And if you're one of those people, like, join us in just letting the fear go for 20, letting fear
Yeah,
go
I
in
think we need to
2025.
create like a little support group,
Right? That's what
wine
we
and
need
chisme
to
support group.
do. So we're excited. We can't wait. And until next time, mi gente. Thank you,
See you
Erika.
in the
I
new
love
year.
you.
Hola mi gente, thank you for listening to this episode of the Wine and Chisme podcast. If you would like to hear more wine and more chisme, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Saludos.